This is Xbox Fan Fest, our inaugural Xbox Fan Fest talks, which is pretty exciting.
Pretty exciting stuff, man.
And I feel like we haven't done one of these in a long time. We did a trivia a long time
Was
ago.
that
a few months
October?
ago. It was October, I
I
think.
know. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
But now we're back for the inaugural Fan Fest talks. And if you didn't know, Xbox Fan Fest is all about bringing the Xbox community together, having a good
Right.
time, being fun, inclusive, and making
Right.
sure we're just having some gaming. And we have a great show for you. But before we dive into any of that, a lot of people have registered for FanFest, and thank you all for joining us. Of course, what are some of the perks of of joining FanFest? I know you gain first access to learning about exclusives.
You gonna ask me? You gonna say them all?
Well, I wanted to tee it up for you, Ethan.
No,
you know?
no, it's fine. I mean, that's the big thing. It's like
Yeah.
exclusive perks. I also would say that as a fan, this is like a much more intimate show than maybe a
right.
traditional Xbox broadcast. At least that's the hope that we kind of want to achieve with this thing. It's very much about how does the sauce get made, and we want to give you guys insight into a little bit more granularity about what Xbox does and what's important to us, what's important to you guys. So again, you're gonna be able to ask questions for all our guests today. If you check on the site below the video, there's a little how-to on how to do that.
That's right.
But of course, there's exclusive gear. That's another thing we get to talk about.
I
Getting access to
mean,
FanFest, exclusive swag.
I'm not saying that I'm wearing exclusive gear, but I'm wearing exclusive gear right now, which you can actually also get. We're going to talk about it a little bit later. So you may want to hold off on purchasing it because we are going to give you a little bit of help in that area. So we'll get to that in just a little second.
Okay.
And then obviously we see the chat moving. We see you all here. This is just your time to have a good time in a digital experience, and we're all here for it.
Yeah.
Just have fun. Be a part of the community.
Be a part of it.
And, just have a good time.
Yeah, so of course, obviously, today's all about having fun. Please adhere to the rules and user conduct and stuff. Got to say it. Treat everybody relaxing. Everybody love one another in chat. I think that's the easiest way to say it.
The platinum rule, as they say, treat others the way they want to be treated. And most people want to be treated with respect, you know?
Seriously. And also, again, we've just been in our homes for the last year.
Yeah.
So this is one of those times where it's just nice to, again, just talk to people.
Yeah.
And I love seeing chat flowing. It's just been too long since we've got to do this, So it's exciting to see everyone hyped. Really good to have people here from all over the world. Seriously.
That's right. And we want to hear what you have to say on Twitter and on social media. So be sure to use the hashtag XboxFanFest. We got a lot of great feedback. I'm not saying that the fans are why we're back, but I think the fans are why we're back. I'm just saying. But no, we love hearing your thoughts on the show, and we want to make it better. Again, this is all about you, so be sure to give us your feedback on the show. Give us ideas for what you want to see in the near future.
It's true, because that's one of the last benefits of being an Xbox Fan Fest registrator.
Chat, can we get a check on that?
Grammar check. But obviously, it's these exclusive digital events, and so I think the team, the people working behind the scenes, again, shout out to all the producers working hard, the FanFest team, you guys rock. They want to do right by you guys. They want to put on great shows. They want FanFest to kind of feel like it's happening all the time. It's really, there's just a lot of cool stuff planned in the pipeline, and we're kicking it off with this thing.
That's right. I want to give you one last reminder that we are going to be giving you a chance to get, I think we can say a chance to get a little bit of a discount via some polls coming up, but you all are going to have to work together, a pop quiz, I should say, work together later on, but you might be able to rock this cool new FanFest green shirt that I'm wearing, or the full length sleeve shirt that Ethan's wearing. That was hard for me to get out.
These are actually long sleeves. I just rolled them up because it's a little toasty.
Well, we're getting ready to work. There's gonna be a little competition. There's gonna be a lot going on. So
there's a lot going on, which we should talk about.
Yes.
But first, let's do a little bit of a site tour just for folks to understand. Now, at the very top of FanFest, you can see the video. You can see chat. When you scroll down a little bit, you have the little call to action for how to ask questions for the guests today. Super important to remember that. We got a lot of really cool guests, and you can see who's going to be on the show. If you check below that, a little bit of spotlight. But before the info about our hosts and guests, we got a little fan spotlight with a bunch of great pictures submitted by Xbox fans, which I love. I had this up the other day when we were looking at the site, testing it, and it was so awesome just to look at these pictures.
Just going through, yeah. Well, again, like you mentioned, we've been trapped in the house for a year, and FanFest, of course, was previously an in-person event with trivia. Starting with trivia, we moved it to digital events, and now this is the way that we're going to show off how much we love Xbox, whether it be something we're wearing, showcasing our setup. I know my setup needs some work, so maybe I'll take some inspiration from some of the pictures you all are sending in. So again, just share the experience amongst yourself with community. We're gonna move on. We actually have our first guest who works on the Xbox Game Pass team with a specific focus on ID at Xbox games, which we of course love, and that's why we're here.
That's right.
So let's welcome from the Xbox Game Pass team, Bianca Ciotti.
Woo, Bianca, welcome to the show.
How's it going?
Hi guys,
How are you?
Great to be here. Oh, I'm
great
great,
to have
thank
you.
you. How are
Seriously.
you guys doing?
Solid. I mean, honestly, it just feels good to be here.
I'm doing good. I'm not sweating yet in this heavy jacket.
I called it
think
like
that's a win.
Honestly, chat, keep me honest. He's gonna take that jacket off before the show. ends.
I think it's too stylish, you know.
You do look good.
So what
you
can
do
I
look
say?
Good. So you'd rather like faint on the air than take the jacket off?
Yes.
Cool.
It'll make for good
That's
TV.
good.
We're live, by the way, so you'll
true.
see it live. There's no editing. Anyway, Bianca, again, thanks so much for joining us. For the folks who are watching right now, tell us a little bit about what you do on the Xbox Game Pass team.
Sure. So I am actually pretty new to the Game Pass team. I joined less than a year ago, and I work particularly with ID at Xbox games. I like to shine the spotlight on these games as they come into Game Pass and just help support both our players in discovering their new favorite game and help shine the spotlight on these incredible games for our developer partners as well.
I mean, that's awesome to hear, and I got to say, IDs must be super fun to work for. I mean, again, because it's such typically smaller teams, typically maybe more intimate discussions and settings around their games. I got to ask you, you've worked at a few places in the industry. What do you like most about working on ID titles?
I think the thing that draws me most to ID titles and working in the Game Pass team is that every day I get to come in and work on a variety of different games. So a lot of times when you work in the game industry, you might be working on the same game for years and years and years as it goes through development, through launch. But working with ID games coming into Game Pass, I could work on 20 different games from 20 different genres and 20 different partners all in the same day, which keeps me on my toes and really kind of gets my creative juices flowing. So that's what I love most, I think.
That's a lot of
and
titles.
it keeps it fresh, right? You're always getting to see different styles that developers are making with different art styles, different gameplay types.
Yeah.
There's games from like first-person shooters who people wouldn't think are made by ID developers, and then there's games all the way down to those side scrollers that are just labors of love from the team. I gotta ask, like, you talked about the selection, and I love that you threw in the tagline, Discover Your Newest Favorite Game, because there are a lot of games in Game Pass, and I know we're talking about ID at Xbox games. For someone who's jumping into Game Pass, maybe they just got an Xbox, or maybe they're using the cloud gaming, what's an ID at Xbox game that you would recommend for them to start with?
I think one that's really easy to jump into and just like, it's a kind of game that you can sit down and play all in one sitting, is Donut County. Donut County is hilarious. Nice. It's cute.
Amazing.
And it's got like a really cool puzzle mechanic where you control a hole, and as you swallow more things, the hole gets larger, and it's a puzzle game. So it's kind of like reverse Katamari almost. It is adorable, fun,
nice.
Cute, and quick to play.
I love Donut County.
Shout out to Katamari, by the way. That was a quick reference. But yes, Donut County is great.
Yeah, they're both good. That's such a great call out. That's a good one that was like, I got my folks in Xbox over the pandemic because they were looking for another outlet because they had done, 37 puzzles. And I think I actually talked about that in October. And the number's gone up, but that was like one of the first games that hit Game Pass where I was like, you have to check this out. Like, this is such an accessible game. It's so cute and so funny, but like just a good, it's like a great game break, I think, is ultimately what it is, because it's just like, it's a great way to break up the monotony if you're playing a lot of shooters or if you're playing a lot of AAA titles. Like, that thing, just plug and play.
Plug in. And then I would say also maybe in that same vein, but a little bit more silly, or a lot more silly, is like something like Goat Simulator. Because who hasn't in their life once thought, I wish I was a goat? And that game, with the power of Xbox Game Pass and ID at Xbox, you can play it. You can be a goat.
Be a goat.
I've always wanted to be. So
you are the goat of my heart. Don't tell my wife.
Wow. Okay. I won't.
Okay.
So Bianca, let's talk about some of the games that you've been playing. Obviously, like we mentioned, many games to choose from. What are some of the ones that have been spinning in your Xbox recently?
I have kind of a few games that I constantly go back to. So Slay the Spire is one that just at least once or twice a week, I'll log in and do a run.
Ooh.
So roguelike games like that I can always go back to, and every time I play, it's a little bit different, are really enticing to me. Something that I've been playing a lot with my friends recently is Drake Hollow, which is, if you're unfamiliar, it is a game about humans who come to a fantastical world, and there they discover adorable vegetable spirits that they have to protect and kind of build a base for. So the combination of like exploration, survival, plus adorable vegetables that I love, and they each have like their own personality, has just sucked me in completely.
Oh, that's a good pick. That's a good pick.
I'm not a fan of eating vegetables, but I think vegetables in the game very unique.
Way more
so why
accessible.
not?
Way
You know?
more accessible. Yeah.
Please
totally,
don't eat
totally.
these vegetables. Please don't
No.
eat these vegetables. They're
I
adorable.
love the
You
disclaimer.
adopt them. They have a place in your heart.
I love that.
All right. Well, it's time to move on to the next segment, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah.
We're gonna count down.
Yeah. Oh God, what's gonna happen? Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the hot seat.
Oh,
It's a new.
FanFest hot seat.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's gonna be a new event.
Yeah. So basically, what we're gonna be doing is we are going to be playing games.
Yep.
Bianca's gonna be sticking with us because we're gonna have a little bit of a competition.
Friendly competition.
One of the games in the Xbox Game Pass, ID Xbox, is Cluster Truck.
Cluster truck.
How would you describe Cluster Truck, Ethan?
It's a cluster truck.
Okay.
That's how I would describe
if
it.
If I had to give you like 15 more seconds to describe it, what would you say it is?
Without using profanity, it is a. I don't know.
having a tough
Like
time.
cluster truck
It's
is
about
literally
jumping.
the best description.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It was a very clever title, but obviously you're jumping truck to truck.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do
true.
is we're gonna have a little
Puzzle game.
friendly competition.
Little competition.
I'm gonna start first because I'm so confident in my ability to play this game well that Ethan, it doesn't matter. And so while we're playing the game, basically Bianca's going to be asking some of your questions directly to us, and we're going to be answering them. And I think
Yeah, so the trivia questions that have like actual answers. So I think
Yeah,
we're going to
that's
see
right.
how far we can get in cluster truck in a short amount of time, paired with while Bianca's asking us questions that we're probably going to get wrong.
No, I'm going to get them right.
You think so?
You're going to get them wrong.
Okay.
Let's separate this.
Okay.
But yes, that is exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to jump in. Bianca, are you ready?
I think we have to I think
I'm
we're going to do a
ready.
poll first to
Okay.
see who have
That's right.
chat vote on who they think is going to win. Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh.
there should be a poll appearing very shortly for you guys to decide who is going to win this competition. Is it going to be Malik?
If you
gonna
vote,
be
a vote for me is a vote for dogs and cats, and who doesn't love a good pet? So there you have it. That's my case. I
You can't
rested.
compete against dogs, man. And
Yeah, right.
cats, I guess.
I mean, try. You know, why should why
If you
should a
vote for
vote
me, I promise hugs.
I guess we're in a pandemic, so not everyone's
Maybe not a good
vaccinated,
call.
Yeah.
Crap.
Anyway, as you can see,
I
Ethan
promise
is-
waves at 6 feet.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Well, I think pets still win. So we're gonna jump in here. I think the poll is. I think it might be still going right. Let's make double check here.
Yeah. Give it a sec.
All
Give
right.
it a sec, but let's go ahead and kick things off. So, Bianca, as soon as the gameplay kicks off, Malik's going to start. You can just dive into the questions.
Scared.
We'll see how many worlds Malik gets through. How many
All right.
zones?
Ethan,
Ready?
can I get a countdown from 3?
Okay, on go.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Here we go.
All right.
All right, Malik,
ahead,
I'm
Bianca.
going to throw you a softball to get you started
Okay.
so that it builds
That's
up your
what I like to hear.
confidence a little bit.
Okay. I
What is
appreciate
the
that.
name of Among Us's newest and biggest map? Is it A, the airship,
Ooh.
B, the Skeld, C, Mira HQ, or D, Polis?
You know, Bianca, I really want to start off by saying I appreciate you starting with a softball question. And Among Us is obviously a great game. The answer, I'm going to go with A, airship. Is that right?
Correct. That is correct.
right.
Ah, whatever. What a
The
layup,
slight
dude.
pause scared me, and I was like, you know, I'm not quite sure, but I got it.
What a layup, dude.
Yeah, we did
I
it.
did it for the dramatic effect.
It does.
All right, we're going to get
appreciate
a
that.
little more difficult now. How
Good,
many door
good.
locks does the basement door have in Secret Neighbor?
Ooh, okay. What are the choices, Bianca? I'm gonna need some multiple choice.
for the number locks.
Yeah.
There's
Can
no
I-
multiple choice, but it's less than 10.
Ooh, okay. Okay. That means I have a 10% chance of getting this right. Math is on
Good
point
math, good
today.
math, yeah.
Is on point. Okay, so I think the answer is going to be 6.
Great. We don't
Yes?
have. You know what? We're not going to know the answer either.
Why?
I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head. I thought it was 3, but I couldn't remember
3?
either.
Oh, well, one of us is right. Both are 100.
By the way, I'm getting creamed in the poll, so thanks a lot, guys. It's 'cause
Oh,
you picked
chat, I
cats and
love you.
dogs.
No, it's just because the chat loves me. I love you
Fine.
all.
It's fine.
I'm kidding.
Whatever.
Ethan's
Let's just go to the
great.
next question, Bianca.
Did I get it right, Bianca? 6?
It is 6, yes.
Yes, that's
all right.
right.
2 right.
We
swear I
have
didn't know that.
a question from chat,
Let's
which
go.
Okay,
is
let's go,
Chat.
chat.
from @navfan1652, and they
Okay,
ask,
okay.
"Who
Great year.
is your favorite celebrity from the interactive thriller 12 Minutes?"
Ooh, William Dafoe.
It's Willem, by the way.
Oh, it's Will.
it's not William.
Is it?
It's Willem.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, my whole life's been a
Have some
lie.
respect.
Oh man.
No, that's an
Um,
honest mistake.
I want to say real quick before we move on to the next question. That game, I am so pumped for that game.
Ugh.
Between the star-studded cast, the amazing narrative, and it looks
Isn't
amazing.
James McAvoy in that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be my
It's
answer.
gonna be so awesome.
You're just trying to delay the inevitable here. Next question, please.
I'm trying to get through this.
I'll throw you another softball question. What's your favorite
All
spot to
right.
shred in Skate 3?
Ooh, this is a Ethan question.
It is.
But since I'm answering it, I like to. What's my favorite spot to shred? Of course, Skate 3 and Xbox Game Pass via EA Play. I'm gonna say I like to shred on the rails in that one skate park.
You don't
Can't be-
remember.
No,
It's okay. You're more of a
There's
street
no way
guy.
that's a wrong answer. Though.
I know it's true. That's a
There you
good.
go.
That's a good call. You could literally name any location in a town, and it was in Skate 3.
Oh, the library.
There you go. You nailed it.
Yeah?
I mean, I think that was more.
Oh.
Isn't the library actually a Tony Hawk level?
Oh man, I'm having a hard time getting past this level. All right, I'm ready
Skate
for
3
that.
on Game Pass and worth a replay. That game holds up, ladies
That's
and
right,
gentlemen.
and a new skate's coming out.
That's right. Oh,
Announced
I can't
last
wait.
year.
I cannot wait. Okay, I don't know where we're at on time, so I'd say just next question. Keep going.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's supposed to be
I'm
5
loving
minutes
this.
each, right? Oh,
All right, here we
All right.
go. What
4
year
more minutes.
did ID at Xbox launch? And here's a multiple choice
Oh.
one, so you've got a
Okay,
chance.
okay.
Oh,
All right.
A, 2014, B, 2013, C, 2012, and that curveball D at 2015.
Okay, I think. Okay, let me talk through this. Okay, I know Xbox started after Xbox One launch, which was in 2013. It didn't launch the same year. I think it might have been.
remember the event? Wasn't there an event?
Ooh, actually, I think I remember 5 years of ID at Xbox happening, and that wasn't last year.
Okay.
So it wasn't 2015. So it's either 2014 or 2013. Or no, it's 2014 because 2013 is out.
Summer of Arcade,
2014.
right? Was that Summer of Arcade?
I don't know, but 2014. Am I right, Bianca?
You are correct, 2014.
Oh, nice. That's a good one.
Let me tell y'all something. I know everyone out there's fans. I'm gonna say I'm the number one Xbox fan.
I don't know that you can be the number one when you work here.
There's no
You got too much
disputing that because
in the game.
did you see my process of elimination on that?
It's true. I would
it was
call. I don't know that I'd
masterful.
call you the biggest fan, but I would certainly call you a historian of Xbox
Oh,
because you
that's a
do know
good-
your
yeah,
years,
that's
and
true.
that is pretty impressive.
That's true.
All right, 2.5 more minutes till the switch.
All right.
Bianca, next question if you got one, please.
All right, what's the best map in Star Wars Battlefront 2?
What is it?
I've only played one Star Wars game in my entire life.
Which one?
Oh, actually two. Star Wars Shadow of the Empire from Nintendo
Great choice.
64.
Great
Very
choice.
great. That was
Yeah.
my first full game that I ever played. And Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the best Star Wars
Game ever made.
which is also available on Xbox.
100%.
Gotta agree there.
Battle.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Bianca.
So, what I basically mean to say is that I'm gonna have to pick a random Star Wars planet that I think exists,
Yeah.
and hopefully I'm right. Tatooine. Is that on?
Hey, that is a Star Wars planet.
Oh, in
I don't
Battlefront?
know that there's a map in there on Battlefront 2, though. Someone could keep me honest there. I do
Oh,
not
chat?
remember, to be honest.
Chat, keep
That's a good
keep me
question.
honest. I'm just gonna say I'm right. How about that?
There's so many. Yeah. What's the other sandy place that Ray's from? Because I think there is a map there.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
In any case,
In any case, all right. Let's go to. Oh man, I messed up. All right.
yeah.
Are my questions throwing you off, Malik?
A little bit. It's more like
You know-
my uncertainty.
When you back out, we'll see the level you ended up at. But
We're not done yet. We still
we're
have
not done yet. You got a little bit of time. All right,
Yeah.
next question, Bianca.
All right. Which is not a space mining dwarf in Deep Rock Galactic? And this is another multiple choice. So
Okay.
Oh,
A, Driller. B, Gunner. C, Scout. Or D, Digger.
All right. So I think. Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
Sure.
Is
Which
not-
is not a space mining dwarf in Deep Rock Galactic? So which one doesn't fit?
Okay. Okay. I think I'm gonna go with Gunner because that's the name of my dog.
Mm.
So I'm just gonna go with that one.
I'm sorry, that one is wrong.
Yes.
I think that's my first wrong
That's
question.
Wrong question. That's
Wrong
the end of your
answer.
time. Wrong answer. Not yeah, wrong question, Bianca. Try again.
All right.
Let's see where we ended up. Hit start. Go to main menu, and it should tell you exactly where you left off.
Okay.
Like that. So
Eight.
that's 8.
1.8.
1.8. But you didn't beat 8, so 7.
Oh, whatever. Technicality. Bianca, thanks for the questions. If I could make one request, I think they were a little too easy. So I think
Are
if
you
we could just
kidding me,
ramp up the difficulty at this point. That'd be great.
Star Wars and Skate were layups, bro. Do you know what a layup is?
Wow. Wow, everyone. Chat, I hope you voted for me because this guy is clearly evil. All right, let's go. Ethan.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
You ready? All right. Here we go.
All right.
Okay.
Just like Malik, I'm gonna give you an easy question to start out.
Okay.
How many?
love it.
Sorry. Let me read that again. If we created 2 armies of 2,000 Maliks versus 2,000 Ethans in
Okay.
tabs, who would win the battle?
Oh.
So
ooh.
2,000 Maliks versus 2,000 Ethans. Who would win the battle and why? You gotta
And
justify.
Tabs is totally accurate.
And tabs
That's
is
right.
totally accurate.
Battle
So
Simulator, yeah.
I think I would win in tabs because I don't think Malik could ever hurt me.
Wow.
I don't think even in a simulator you would ever lay a hand on me. But I would turn on you in a second.
Well, chat, we have an evil person here. No, you're probably right. I wouldn't hurt a fly, to be fair. So
You're not a pacifist, but you're about as close as you could be without
right.
any commitment.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay, I'll allow that answer.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, you're on 1.5 already.
I'm on 1.5, baby.
Oh my goodness, chat.
I'm having a
Okay,
good
go ahead,
time.
Bianca. We gotta get him a tough one.
Make one up if you have to.
All right, here's one.
Come on.
How
Okay.
many floors are on the train in Shiny Shoes game Monster Train?
Yeah, Ethan. How many floors?
And there's no multiple choice. I just have to guess. How many
Yes.
How many floors
it's
are
any
there?
number that's less than 4. So your
Oh,
choices
okay,
are
that's
1,
not so
2,
bad.
3, or 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna go with 3 because the teacher
You don't
told me
wanna go
if you don't know the answer to pick C in a multiple choice test.
I don't think you should go with 3.
I'm gonna go 3.
You should go with 2, probably.
I'm gonna go with 3. Final answer, Regis.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe don't call a friend with Malik because you are correct. It is 3.
Let's go!
Okay. It's fine. It's fine. I'm pretty sure Ethan is.
I made it! What?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was crazy.
It's because I was. No, you're on 1.7 now. You're
I'm
not.
on 1.10. I'm tied with you right now.
Sorry. Go ahead.
If I beat this one, I beat you, Malik. Let's go. Chat, I need the hands in the air.
No.
Do you believe?
We don't.
Oh, do you believe? Come on. Bianca, you got to give me something. You can make something up. I don't care. I just want to answer
All
a question
right.
while I finish this to rub it in his face.
Ugh.
I have a question that's specifically for Ethan from chat. It's from Nikki,
Oh.
who asks,
Nikki.
do you believe Halo Infinite has the chance to be the best Halo ever?
I 100% believe that. The team that works on that game, and I'll preface that by saying I am a huge Halo fan. But the team that works on that game, I've been fortunate enough to work alongside so many of them, and they got so much skin in it. They got so much heart in that game. Like, I am hyped to see what comes of that title, and I cannot wait till we get to show more off, just so I can see something. You know what I
No,
mean?
Ethan.
Level complete, baby.
You have to beat this level to beat.
What? I already
Yeah,
beat
because I
you.
got 1.7. I got to 1.7.
Oh, you did beat
Yes.
7.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
And real
We're
quick on
tied
the
right now.
answer, that was a great answer.
Yeah.
I would like to see. I would have loved to see the world where you said no.
So that's like a phone call from
Yeah. So I get to see your inbox afterwards.
yeah, seriously.
But okay. I guess.
Well, my buddy Andy works on it now, and
Oh, yeah,
you know
yeah,
he
yeah.
is terrible. So who knows? It's a roll of the dice. Come on.
Ethan, it seems like you're having trouble with this level, so let me throw another
No,
question
it's 'cause-
at you to make it even
Oh,
harder.
I love that. Let's do it.
Okay.
Another fan question from @KingJ06 who asks, "What's an
King J?
ID at Xbox game you would never get bored of playing?"
It's an ID at Xbox game I would never get bored of playing. Ooh. I'm going to go on a limb and say Sniper Elite 4. I absolutely love the bullet time stuff in that game, the slow-mo. It's an incredible co-op game no matter who you're playing with.
gruesome.
There's like so many different ways to beat the game. What am I doing? I'm like jumping up and down.
Oh, it seems like you're having a tough time.
Carl's probably one of my favorite characters in like the ID catalog. So I'd probably go with that. I'd probably go with Sniper Elite 4.
Yeah, it's very brutal though.
It can be pretty brutal.
Yeah.
But it's, not for the faint of heart. I'm not going to beat this level.
I mean,
But it's good. It's so good. I'm
you
a
have
big
like
fan.
5 minutes though to beat it.
And if I had a second choice, I think Spiritfarer, while it's not as long of a game, it's just the most wholesome game I've probably played since Animal Crossing. Like, it's just spectacular, and my wife and I just adored it, especially with as tough as this year has been. Like,
Great
just
theme.
a great feel-good game, really emotional. Love the characters. Yeah, those would be my two choices.
Oh,
God!
I love this. I love watching you fail over and over.
Whenever you failed. Oh, this is it.
No.
All right, well,
No!
since it's still going,
No!
you get one more question until you finish.
Oh, God.
So we've got
Okay.
another question from chat from Cambria Lujon, who asks,
Okay.
what is the best thing about Untitled Goose Game?
What is the best thing about Untitled Goose Game? Stealing the hat from the farmer is top notch. I mean, that's just the first time the farmer reacts to stealing your hat. It had me dying. And I'll also say, like, the best thing of that game is just how unexpectedly amazing it is. Like, I remember seeing it at PAX, and it was upstairs at the Emporium, or at the Expo, which is usually like smaller games, and that game had a massive crowd at the booth of people just like laughing and watching and taking pictures, and like something about that energy, just made it amazing. And when it actually came out, it was so fun to see just how adorable it was and how wholesome it was and how funny it was in just the weirdest ways. And that's another game I got to teach my parents how to game on. That was my dad's first video game, was Untitled Goose Game.
I love that. A quick break of you like losing over and over.
Oh, this is so
I gotta
frustrating.
say, that's another really big beauty of ID at Xbox games is, again, that concept of you being a goose and just annoying everybody.
Yeah.
Only an independent developer could come up with something
It's
like that.
true.
I love
And
it.
like, take the chance on it,
Yeah,
Like,
why not?
I just love it. But you know what I don't love is this.
Bianca, you might as well, I think, wait, am I correct that we're over?
Are we over?
I think we're over.
Oh!
Oh, we have
Can
to.
you imagine? I have 3 minutes to beat this?
Okay, so here's the thing. Ethan's been playing for quite a while. He was still on this level 3 minutes ago. We have 3 minutes left.
That's not the same, Malik.
Why?
Because I got here so fast.
Okay, that doesn't matter. You ever
doesn't
heard?
matter.
You ever
It's
heard
just
the
the
story
final
of the
level.
tortoise and the hare?
Yeah.
What happened in that? The one that was slower
Yeah, okay.
ended up winning.
But now it's impossible for you to win right now. I can win or we tie. That's all that's going to happen.
Thanks, Eagle.
I can't make that final jump. Like, who
Yeah.
do they think I am?
I don't know. Bianca, you got another question for Ethan?
It's like an all-star track and field athlete.
I sure do. We've got
All
some more
right.
questions from chat.
Ooh,
Let's
chat,
go
okay.
with
I'm going
Let's
to cry.
go with one from JG Koijaman, who
Okay.
asks, what is the biggest laugh you've ever gotten on a gameplay? What game made you laugh the most?
The biggest laugh. Oh, ooh. It doesn't have to, any game. It doesn't have to be a Game Pass. Can I just say any game? I'm trying to think.
I think that's
Trying to
fair.
think.
I feel like I know.
You feel like you know.
I feel like I know.
So I have a couple that I love the writing of. I think Borderlands 2 has some of the best writing in games. I really love the story of Borderlands 2. I love the characters. The writers behind the scenes just did a great job with that. Big shout out to Mikey Newman.
Real quick, I want to
Yeah.
see if you're gonna say the game that I'm thinking.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Other games that are hilarious. Ghostbusters, the Xbox 360
Okay.
Ghostbusters game, actually worked on by Dan Aykroyd.
Ooh.
And voiced by the original Ghostbusters cast. Just a great playthrough. Short, you beat it in like 3 hours, but if you're a fan of Ghostbusters, worth a playthrough. What did you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say South Park, Stick of
Oh, yeah. Love the South Park game. Stick of Truth.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, it came when graphic fidelity was at a perfect time where it looked just like an episode.
It was so
It was
good.
mind-blowing.
And they had the creators had like input. They wrote the game.
They wrote the game, yeah, and just I love so many pop culture references. South Park being South Park, you know.
Love it,
In the same
yeah.
way that I think the Simpsons games, there's a Hit and Run and Road Rage. Let's go! No, no way!
my gosh,
I was
so
right
close.
there.
Oh, this is what I love.
1
You got
minute.
60 seconds, Ethan.
I know. I'm choking so bad.
Oh man, the pressure's on. Bianca, hit him with one more question.
God, I feel like the Seahawks.
All right.
Oh,
Let's go with
Dang.
one from Firehawk6301 who asks,
What's up, Firehawk?
which killer in Dead by Daylight do you find the most frustrating to play against?
Ooh, frustrating. Frustrating? That's a good question. The doctor can be a little frustrating. I usually don't like the jump scares. So like the doctor, the I can't remember her name, but she's like the bog witch or like the hag. She really scares me. And I think those two really freak me out. As for frustrating, the bear traps, because I never look for the freaking bear traps. Oh,
20 seconds. Chat.
we're gonna
chat,
tie, and we're gonna tie.
chat.
No.
Team Malik, let's vote for him to not win. Let's
Oh, almost made it. 10 seconds.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
No! Oh, man.
Listen,
Ah.
I'm not above celebrating a tie. I'm not above celebrating it because, and here's the reason, Ethan talked so much trash leading
I
up
never
to it.
talk trash to you,
Oh, you
dude.
only got 1.7, and look where we
Whatever.
are.
Oh, man. I can't
know.
believe I got to that one and I just choked. I blame Bianca. You know what, Bianca? I'm going to put this one on you.
I feel
You
like
know
that's
what?
not
I
right.
accept that. I
Okay.
accept
Thank you.
that. I gave you some tough ones.
Yep,
But,
yep.
you know, you tried your best, and in a game called Cluster Truck, it could be a little frustrating.
It can be a little frustrating.
A little bit.
We tied. Now, if you look at the poll, you can actually see 62% voted to say you would win. So you let 62% of the chat down.
No, I didn't.
We tied.
I think I went in as the underdog, and so I think.
How is that the
Well,
underdog?
The chat knows that I'm the underdog, so they were like,
Okay.
"Oh, you know, let's root for Malik." And I think the tie. They're just saying that I don't know. I think that is a win for me. So
Whatever, dude. Okay.
so let's talk about this. So we are dropping, I believe, right now.
Compose myself. Sorry.
Yeah, Ethan needs to get his stuff together. But we're dropping a 5% discount to Xbox Gear Shop, so you can pick up one of these shirts or one of those shirts. So a little discount for you all if you want to look stylish. I know Nick and James, if you guys see me, put me on the website. But Bianca, we're going to send it back to you real quick here at the end here. So, what is one thing that you want people to know? Maybe people who are used to playing AAA title games, and maybe you want them to try indie games, ID at Xbox games. What's one thing that you would tell them about trying something different?
I would say that the great thing about a lot of these ID games within Game Pass is, one, there's a ton of them, which means there's got to be something for you in there. And the beauty of Game Pass is you're already paying for the subscription, so just jumping in, downloading a game, and giving it a try and seeing if it's for you is really kind of low effort. You can just see if it's for you, and if it's not, you know, it's not a big deal. It's so easy to try a new thing and find out that, hey, maybe this is a whole new genre or just a whole new game that you love. And I just think the power of that to power discovery and power new interests and new things that you can explore, new worlds, and maybe new worlds you can explore with your friends is just really incredible. So I encourage everyone to try out some of your ID at Xbox games that have maybe been sitting in your backlog, because they're definitely worth it.
Yes. Awesome.
I love it. I love
Where
it.
do we wrap it up?
Yeah, Bianca, thank you again so much. Are we going to the next poll question? Let me make sure.
That's right. So, Bianca, we're going to have to let you go, but thank you so much for the time. We'll catch you later.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Yes, absolutely. Big shout out to Bianca and the rest of the crew over there. But it's time to get your game faces on, guys, because it's pop quiz time.
That's right.
Pop
Who
quiz.
doesn't love a good pop quiz?
Yeah.
I know I didn't back in the day, but
Yeah, that's
this is about gaming, so why not?
That's because it's different. Back then, it's like it was a gotcha moment. Now it's like very much about rewarding the fans.
That's right. That's
Okay,
right.
so we're going to have 2 poll questions, right,
right.
folks? And based on how well you do, ladies and gentlemen,
right.
you're going to be getting an extra discount at the end of the show for any merch you pick up at the merch store after this, like these shirts.
That's right. So you're gonna want to try and go for the right answer. Just I know there's you just want to pick an answer, but go for the right answer because
Yeah.
you can help everybody else out. Get a
Help
little
everyone,
discount.
literally, whether you answer the poll or not, if the chat gets it right, you all get the discount.
There you have it.
Right?
There you
so
have it.
that's yeah. So let's take a look. The poll is up, ladies and gentlemen, and it's gonna be a good one.
I'll just. But yeah, and then everyone who participates. Actually, I want to tease something that's happening later in the show.
Okay.
We haven't actually talked about it.
Okay, let's do it.
So real quick, later in the show, we're gonna have a surprise. So you're gonna want to stick in chat. We have our special guest coming on later on in the show, Larry Herb, Xbox's Major Nelson.
That's right.
And he's gonna have a little surprise at the end of the show. So do not move anywhere.
Yeah, definitely want to stick. Do not move anywhere.
Do not move. Not
Move
a
anywhere.
finger.
A
okay?
finger, yeah.
Except to vote on the poll. But yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to catching up with Larry as well
right.
because he's the man. Yeah, this. The other thing to mention too is this prizing that we're going to be doing, this poll questions. There's multiple questions. You're actually there should be 2 that you've answered at this point.
That's right.
There is 10% discount up for grabs for each question where the majority answer is correct, meaning
right.
that you all could get an upwards of 45% if you include the other 5% earlier.
That's right. I think so. Yeah.
45% discount on an item from the 25%. Excuse me.
Okay.
25%. My math is terrible.
It's okay. I mean, it's a quarter off.
Yeah.
If I'm correct,
I don't- see,
25%.
well, but then you ask if you're correct, like I'm gonna know.
You know, maybe I'm wrong. I just want to verify. But that is, when you're thinking about buying a shirt, any little savings helps.
It's
Or
true.
maybe you buy. I think there's like a mug on there even.
Ooh, nice.
I could use a mug.
Yeah?
You know.
What happened to your other one?
I broke it.
Yeah.
In frustration from playing an
Cluster
idea
Trap?
Xbox. Yeah, exactly. Nice one.
Did you practice this week ahead of the show?
The cluster truck. No.
Okay.
I'm not
Neither
gonna
did
say-
I. Neither did I.
Well, okay.
I love that. I didn't. I promise.
You were a little too confident in there.
Well, okay.
So was I, to be fair.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But no, I
on
haven't.
the big game, bro.
In fact, we're talking about ID at Xbox games. I want to talk about the game that I play the most on ID at Xbox. I think
City Skylines.
Well, historically, yes. And a little story about Cities. If you haven't played City Skylines, it's still an Xbox Game Pass, a great ID at Xbox game. It's about being the mayor of your own city, and you can sink hours. Like any simulation game, you can sink hours into those games. And so I am the mayor of my own city, built it from the ground up. Unfortunately, what happened is my city got a little too big, and the pollution from the pipes started going into the water source, their drinking water source. And you can kind of see a view of the city as the water goes, where people start getting sick.
Yeah.
You have to manage. You have to
Yeah.
put hospitals. You have to put even cemeteries.
Right.
And so everyone just ended up dying.
Your whole
and-
city?
And I started losing money, and there weren't enough ambulances to come pick up the dead bodies.
Oh my
So it
God.
can get pretty dark pretty quickly, but after a while, it ends up turning into a traffic simulator game because
It's
the
like
city
managing the
grows
flow of
so
traffic.
much. Yeah,
Well, and that's so much of what even like all those kind of city manager games is. So much of it is on infrastructure in cities.
exactly. But I just brought that up to say that that is not indicative of what I would do in real office. I would be
Oh,
a much better politician. So in whenever I'm going to be eligible, 5 years from now,
Nice.
go for me.
So you're going to go from hosting a show on Xbox to running for office.
Sure.
I love it.
Why
I
not?
love it. I think that's great. Yeah, I can't wait to see.
And chat would vote for me.
I think they. Well, clearly, yeah. All right, just coming up on the poll results, one of the other games I wanted to call out is actually one of the questions. If you have not checked out For the King,
Yeah.
I cannot recommend this game any higher. It is one, and frankly, when I was thinking about replayability, I should have called this one out because every time you play, it's a procedurally generated world. It's randomly generated, and it's I think it's hexagonal, or I think they call it hexagonal
How many
shapes,
sides?
like 6. It's a hex.
Yeah,
6.
there you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. You got me all tripped up.
Yep.
But so it looks kind of like Catan, but you make characters, and I'm not gonna spoil the poll, but you basically make characters up to 3-player co-op, and you go on a questing adventure. You have like objectives, but it's very hard. It's dungeon delving. It's a lot of rolling of dice. Feels like D&D meets Catan meets like a card game. Like it's just great. I can't recommend it enough. You will sink hours into this game, and it's a great couch co-op or online multiplayer game.
Love that.
Highly
We're
recommend.
just dropping some ID at Xbox game game recommendations
Yeah.
right your way. All right, so the polling is over. We have our results in. So let's go over those in just a second. So we asked you which is not a playable class in strategic game for the king.
That's right.
And it looks like the majority of you picked the
Busker.
Busker, but the right answer was actually the knight. And so
That's a tough question though, because all the classes in For the King are RPG classes with names that you would never think they are.
Yeah.
Like they're just not typical D&D-esque, role-playing game names.
nice guy Ethan here making excuses for you all.
It's a hard question.
There you have it.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever.
So
Next.
you lose the points there, but it's fine.
It's fine. Now let's take a look at the next question. What was the name of the first spirit you meet in the Cozy Death Management Simulator Spirit Fair? We also talked about this earlier, and it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, you got this one correct.
Hey.
When is the first character?
Scoring yourself 5% additional off, right?
5% addition.
All right.
Now we're up to 10% total because of the initial.
Yeah, 10%.
5, 10.
We
That's
are
right.
learning math,
I'm
Ethan.
telling you,
Oh my God,
ladies and
we're
gentlemen,
so
you
proud
think you're
of us.
going to learn anything today. Learn anything.
You got it.
I got there.
So we're going to have more questions, I believe, later on. So stick around. You're going to have a chance to earn some more of the discount off on gear items.
Yeah.
But right now, we're going to, we've been teasing a special guest. We kind of
That's right.
talked about it a little bit. But time for the illustrious, the phenomenal, one of the faces of Xbox.
That's right.
Larry Herb, Xbox's Major Nelson.
Welcome, Larry. Can you hear us okay?
Is this happening? Is this actually
It
happening? Are we
is.
doing this? Hey, gang.
It is.
It's happening.
Great.
It's happening.
Great to
What
see
is
everybody
happening?
here on screen and in chat. Thank you for having me. It's good to see you. By the way, I also want to point out it's Willem Dafoe. Can we talk about this? Willem.
I know.
Yes, thank
Here's
you.
the thing. I've only seen one movie with him in it, and that was the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire.
Fantastic film.
Fantastic film, sure, but I'm not a movie guy. So when I see his
True.
name, it automatically goes to William. And now I hope I'm going to be getting tweets about that.
I hope so too.
For a very
We've already contacted his agent. Larry called him.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay. That's good.
I believe as the great Steakums once said, it's time to log off, bro.
It's time to log off.
Time to log. That's fair. Honestly, the internet is, not a kind place. Well, sometimes it can be.
Yeah,
But
it's hit or miss
anyway,
there every once in a while. But right here, it's a kind place because we got great Xbox fans, and we got Larry here. Larry, first off, how you doing? Obviously, we haven't really gotten to see each other like we used to see you, and I just hope you're doing well in this last year, and hope you're keeping sane. How you doing?
yeah.
Look, I am doing great. I'm thrilled that we work in the games industry, and I think you guys, we've talked about it off the air. We are blessed to be able to. This is our hobby. It's our jobs. It's our life, and we love it. And it's fantastic. So being able to, work from home, my home studio here is here, and being home with my wife and daughter is lovely. And being able to still continue to play video games and talk to the community and be able to be part of this is just it's great. So I can't wait till we meet each other and see each other in person.
Oh,
That's
Looking
right.
forward to it.
And you have obviously the Xbox podcast, which I make sure to watch every single week. Such a
Thank
great
you.
way to keep Xbox
New
fans
episode this
caught
week
up
on
to
Friday.
date.
We're going to talk about what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about. We'll tune in tomorrow. I'll have it up.
There you go. That's a
I
little
honestly
teaser.
prefer
I
that.
love
Like in any podcast, I like where it's like you have a loose agenda and then you riff because
yeah.
it's so much more personal. And you do a great job on that show and all your guests as well. I just love the organic
you.
conversations that kind of come out of it too.
That's right.
It's really good.
So I want to go to some fan questions. And fans, if you have questions, be sure to submit them. I see at the very top a really great question, and I'm curious what you think. Larry, if you could star in an Xbox exclusive game, what game would it be? What game would, maybe even if it's a real life adaptation of the game, or like what game would that be where Larry would be the star?
I've long said this. I'm Batman. I'd love to be Batman in a Batman game.
Ooh, that's a good choice. That's a good one. What about genre?
There was
Like,
a,
do
there
you
was a
have
little bit
genre
of
you
silence there. I think the
thinking
genres
about
would
it.
be
Yeah.
action. The fighting and all those the recent Batman games are always so smooth. So I'd love to do something like
They
that and
are.
really flex my ninja skills.
I love that. I love that.
that too. Yeah, gosh, Arkham. I still like Arkham Asylum was like life changing.
Yeah.
That game was incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, the Batman games are so good.
The
So we're gonna
combat
go to more
flow
fan
on that, and the
questions
way it just
later.
kind of
Yes.
works.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
They're
It just
so
worked.
good.
It just worked,
They're
man.
so good.
Yeah.
But now I want to talk a little bit. Now, back in November, we launched 2 new consoles. I don't know if you've seen them, Series X and Series S. But it's a new year. What are you looking forward to, Larry? I feel like there's one big game that everyone's going to say, but anything in particular you're looking forward to as we head into the next?
Yeah, what I'm
few
looking
months?
first of all, Malik, thank you. I think what I'm looking forward to is hopefully a return to normalcy where we can see each other. We talked about that just a few minutes ago.
Yep.
I'm hopefully we're going to return to that. As far as games are concerned, I can't really say anything too much because then it makes a headline on your favorite, favorite gaming website. So I will just say that we've got some really great stuff coming up. We're going to be planning. We have some announcements coming up later this year and beyond, but stay tuned. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I
Stay
love
tuned.
that. That's just a tease that everyone just needs.
Yeah, and I
Keep
think
them going,
totally. I'd love to. This is a question that I've never. This is a question from the fans, and I'm sure you've answered this maybe on your show and stuff. But I'd love to talk about going way back in time. What was like the big moment where you were kind of like, I want to work, like I want to be in gaming, like 100%, like all in. Like maybe not that you got into gaming, but like what was the moment that you were like, this is it. This is what I want to do.
Well, I think it was multiple moments along my journey in the games industry, and one of them was, when my mom got us the VCS, which is the video console system. It was the Sears version of the Atari 2600 because we couldn't afford the Sears version, and it was that where I realized I was controlling things on this magical tube in front of us, the television screen. So that, and then many years later, when I went to school at Syracuse University, I, started telling stories, and then I realized, wait a minute, these little blips on the screen are now telling stories. So we saw a little bit of that in the mid to late 90s. But then when we made that transition to full 3D gaming and motion, I saw the technology as a technology nerd. I mean, you can't really see my office. This is my office, and it's surrounded by headsets and just all sorts of technology. So when I realized I could make a career out of storytelling and technology, that's gaming right there, and it's interactive.
Yeah.
So it's not just, I can't point to one thing. It's a series of moments along my journey that kind of led me here to Xbox.
Sure. Yeah, that's really, really interesting. I'd never actually known that, and I think that's really cool. And honestly, the best part of gaming, in my opinion, is the storytelling. Not every game needs to convey this grand story, but the ability to blend interactivity with storytelling is just, it's changing the game. It's changing the medium.
And we see so many games do it in different ways. You mentioned Spiritfarer, but even another IDE game, Inside, had no dialogue the entire game. And that's one of those games that you just...
Right.
And I love the theories behind the ending of the game. And it's just one of those games that communicates and conveys such a great feeling that I just love. And to your point, Larry, everyone has that different thing that pulls them into gaming. I remember just my dad bringing home an NES for the first time. And I wasn't even... I didn't ask him for it.
Yeah.
He just brought it home and I played it.
Well, it was for him. It wasn't for you, my friend. It was for him.
Yeah. That was
actually, he probably used it as like a cop out or
Congrats, Malik.
Yeah.
Oh, that was close.
Wow, my whole life has been a lie. Oh man.
You're gonna call your dad after
call my
this,
dad
aren't
after
you?
this. Yeah, thank you, Larry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring up
Major
any
Nelson
daddy
told me.
issues, Malik. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
Ooh, we got
They were
therapy
already
after
there.
this. No worries.
But no, I mean, and then N64 and then Xbox, people get into it at different times and for different reasons. And so I just love hearing those stories. It's a great question.
It is. That was a good one. And honestly, the fans, you guys are dropping some really good questions in here. Oh man, let's see. What do we got? I'm gonna pick another one.
Another question. Okay, get it in there.
Let's take a look at Professor Regret.
Ooh.
He's a professor of regret. Wow.
All right.
What ID at Xbox game should we play right after this event? Right after this event, when they hang up the call.
If you're asking me, I'm going to tell you right now. I don't know if I can see it. It's not up here. I would go to Sea of Thieves. They just announced their season 2 today. That is a game that you can go into whether you're with a friend. It's also one of the games I've noticed when you're in it, when you start playing, it's got an amazing welcoming community that you'll team up with somebody and they'll show you how the cannonballs and shoot out and where to store your TNT and all that stuff. It's an amazing community. The game has never been better than ever. And it's if you have Game Pass, you already have access to it. Download it and check it out.
100%. That is that is quickly becoming one of my favorite multiplayer games of all time. I mean, it's certainly in my top 3 at this point because of just Rare just completely doing nothing but improving that game every year. To your point, the community's amazing. Like, you get pirates being pirates, but that's part of the game. But then the people that are supportive too. I've met some of the funniest people I've ever met. Like, I love proximity chat in that game.
Yeah.
That's a game that makes me wish that you couldn't even use Xbox Live chat
because it's like when you run into a pirate and you kind of or another ship even you kind of are they going to attack?
Yeah, there's that whole everybody cool, man, be cool. Like, it's so good. That's a great call out. That's a good one.
Just Rare is so good at it.
Nice. Yeah, totally. I can't wait to see their next game too, just because they just knock it out of the park every time.
That's right. I have another question
Great
here,
stuff.
but I can't see
It
who
is.
it's from. But Larry, I'm curious. What was the first Xbox game you ever played?
Halo.
Halo. I feel like it was
It's
a lot of people's.
Yeah, I mean that's because when I first started with Xbox, well, before Halo came out right before I joined Xbox, my wife bought me an original Xbox and a console and brought it home. Wait a minute, maybe she brought it home for her. Maybe it wasn't for me.
Oh
See?
no!
This
No!
has
No!
been
No!
a really good therapy session for all of us. We're
That's
discovering
true.
so much.
Yeah, we're learning a lot about each other, you guys. It's so good.
Oh,
That's
this is
so
so
good.
good.
So Halo, that's a good one. I remember playing Halo 1 in the library of our school, and you could because somehow the demo wasn't blocked by our school, and so we would all go into the library and play just the demo, which was like one map, maybe it was Sidewinder back then, and like 8 of us would play that game, and that's the only map. It was so good. It was such a good experience.
Yeah, but the
But
beauty
circling
part
back-
about it is, that all the Halos are available in Game Pass, right? You can
Oh,
go
right.
in there
Yeah,
and have
totally.
access to them with the Halo Master Chief Collection. So it is an awesome gift. Game Pass is the gift that keeps on giving.
It totally is. It totally is.
The
That's.
reason why we're here, by the way, Halo.
I mean, that's
I
100%
feel like,
true.
Yeah, we wouldn't have a job.
That is 100% true, man. Now let's circle back to ID at Xbox games. You know, there's been a lot of good ones that have kind of dropped in recent years, and I'm curious, were there any for you that because when you look at ID at Xbox, it's typically smaller developers. Are there any games in ID that to you, Larry, you felt was like this could be a AAA game, like this could be like this is as good as anything else, you know, that just really blew your mind?
Well, a lot of people forget that, there's like the Jackbox games are part of the ID at Xbox program. The, Ori is part of the Xbox program. I mean, you go through the entire Limbo came from that. Limbo is a great example
Yes.
of
That's
one
a
that
great
is
call
like
out.
They
it's,
did,
it's it's things like that. Or you look at games as a service like Smite, that's also in there, which is amazing. So these ID at Xbox, Pinball Arcade, The Escapists. I mean, the list goes. Pinball FX2, Outlast. I mean, the list can go on and on. But there's, when I look at that specifically, I think like maybe Ori. That was and always will be a seminal moment for ID at Xbox.
Yeah, totally. Just mind blowing. I mean,
That
mind blowing
opening
experience.
part of Ori is just, I don't know anybody who's watched that or played it and hasn't like shed a
Emotion.
tear.
I know, seriously, and to you brought up Inside, which was actually the sequel to Limbo, spiritual successor to Limbo. How games can kind of convey that, because Ori also very limited dialogue, and it's really just a music and a visual experience can bring that emotion to you and so many others. It's really just speaks to the ability of the developers to really convey an incredible story.
That's right.
Yeah.
Another question here, Hacking Spartan. Actually, just you and Jeff talked about on the podcast Haven. Is that another game that has been a really good one that you've played recently?
Oh, Haven is also a great one. There's one Carto, which is great.
Carto's
which is
awesome.
With
I
Max.
really like Carto.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
played
was
that on
that's
xCloud,
a
and that
good
was
one.
when.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that was a great one. So I'd have to look at Carto. I played it on xCloud, and it was great.
That to me seems like the perfect xCloud game. Like that's exactly what I'm glad to hear you say that, because that's exactly the game I want to play when I go on the go.
Really, xCloud, if you think about it, and this
how?
is related to ID at Xbox, is so amazing for a lot of these ID at Xbox games, because if you think about back in your childhood, maybe you had like Game Boy Color, you were playing Pokemon, or any number of handheld games. Now with cloud gaming, you can just like launch it up in a Game Pass game, ID at Xbox game, and it almost takes you back to your childhood.
It does. There's a bit of nostalgia
Sure
there,
does.
except for now we have backlights, which is kind of nice.
What's that?
We have backlights
Oh,
now.
yeah, I do
which is-
remember people
Game
had the
Boys. You had to
little-
play with like the street lights would go by, and I'd just be like, I can get a little bit farther.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
exactly.
ahead, Larry.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just soaking all this loveliness in.
Yeah, it's I gotta say, I've really been enjoying the cloud. Like joining the hardware team, I've gotten to work, see a lot of the great work the team over there has done with like making mobile controllers and kind of what goes into it, and like what's their thinking for different form factors for different games.
Right.
And so to play like more arcade games like Carto on like a smaller controller, and to realize that there's like a whole set of games that I almost save for like when I'm gonna be on the go in the next year. You know, like when there's like a return to somewhat of a normalcy and we get to travel again. Like there are games that I think are gonna be so conducive to that. that on a smaller controller, just like a very, very relaxing game break, I think is what everyone kind of calls them. Yeah, it's like a short, sweet.
Something to get a little, away from those really
Right.
heavy games.
Totally. Now, there's a great fan question, Larry. I wanted to ask you. Let me find GJ Kujiman.
You made it. You did it. That's all that matters.
I can't
That's the
pronounce it, man. I'm
landing.
sorry. I butchered that. What is the most challenging game you've played in the last 3 months, Larry? Challenging game.
Doom Eternal on the hardest level.
Oh my God, you did that?
Wow.
Oh.
No, I'm not. I'm not done with it yet. So, not yet. I'm not
No, the
done
fact
yet.
that you even
To this
tried,
day.
massive respect.
So,
Gosh,
so that definitely
I
that
love
one.
that.
that's a good call. That's a good call. Okay. Larry, are you a Star Wars fan? First off, before I ask this question.
Unlike Malik,
Star-
I am.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to
knew
hear.
I was going to get a lot of stuff
Okay.
for that.
Question, because Star Wars Squadrons just joined Game Pass, and while it's not an
EA
ID
Play.
title, it's one of my favorite games of the last year.
Yeah.
Are you an X-wing
Yep.
or a TIE fighter man?
I'm more of the X-wing guy. I don't know why. I just am. You know, going into battle and having them open up like that there's just something awesome about that.
Awesome. It is awesome. Yeah, I love the
Yeah.
sounds. I think I lean towards the X-wing too, although the TIE fighter, just the sound alone is so menacing.
Well, that's the thing in the games.
Yeah,
I may not be,
Yeah,
a
that
Star-
scream.
I know. It's just like the audio in those games. I may not be the biggest Star Wars fan or play all the games, but I know, like, from playing Battlefront,
Yeah.
even the stuff that I've seen in Squadrons, like the immersive nature, like if you pick up the new Xbox
Yeah, I
Live
have
headset,
a
quick plug.
Yeah,
Hey,
when
it's
we,
awesome.
for the past few Star Wars games, I've had really good friends of mine work on the audio there, and I have a tremendous respect for that for taking what we know in the theaters and bringing it into the game. It's magnificent.
It is it
Game-changing.
truly is, and Star Wars just lends it, like the audio lends itself to video games so well, like the blaster noises, the comms,
Right,
the
right.
vehicles, like audio. It's just for whatever reason, it's so
They're
great.
iconic.
God, scared me.
They're
All right,
iconic.
I think we're out of time, but Larry.
right.
Yeah,
Larry,
I'm gonna have to
a
go,
little-
gang.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for the time, Larry. But I hear that you have something to share with the community before you go.
Absolutely. I have something really I want to talk about, and that's one lucky fan today is going to win an Xbox Series S. Now, Malik, if you could pull that off from the display behind you, maybe. It's not that
Be
one.
careful,
This is a
careful.
demo. This is the Xbox
right.
Series X. It's our smallest Xbox ever in the console packs a punch. Don't let the size fool you. This thing has everything. It's got 120 frames per second. It has quick resume, the Xbox Velocity architecture, and thousands of digital games from 4 generations of Xbox via backwards compatibility. So this is an amazing, amazing title. Plus, I'm going to throw in Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, so you have instant access to over 100 high-quality games, including all the Xbox Game Studio titles and ID Xbox titles. So there you go. This is an amazing, amazing, amazing thing. Xbox Series S and Game Pass Ultimate, perfect combination. And through Xbox All Access, you can get Xbox Series S console plus 24. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, go check it out. If you can't afford a console, is the best
That's
way
why
to
he's
go.
the man, though. That's why
That was an
Larry's the
amazing
man.
pitch. And again, like, look how I'm holding this.
Yeah, well, he's
Next-gen
palming that.
power.
He's palming that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's seriously crazy. It's seriously
Impressive.
crazy. Larry, thank you so much for the time. Sincerely, man. It's just great to hear your voice. Great to see you.
Thank
It's been
you, gang.
too long.
Great to see you
Right.
too.
Looking forward to seeing you.
All right.
Have a good one.
Have a good one. All right, so folks, that was Larry Herb, Xbox's Major Nelson.
Always great talking to Larry Herb.
Always great talking
As
to him.
someone who I remember getting my 360 and he had Major's minutes. Do you?
Yes.
remember
Oh,
Major's
yeah,
minutes?
dude.
I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
that. So anyway, always good to chat with Larry. And then again, as we just announced, which wasn't announced at the top, so again, you got to stick around. You never know what's going to happen on these FanFest talks. One of you are going to walk away with this Xbox Series S. I have one on my desk, and it is such a lifesaver. Maybe you're done with work, or maybe you're done with homework, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
You just plug it in,
It
pop
might
it
be
on for a quick
my
game session.
it might be my favorite new console, like even over the Series X,
Yeah.
because of just the portability of it. One, pair that with the fact that like it's so powerful and so small, like it fits in your carry-on or your backpack. TV like monitor screens are just like you can get those little LCD screens.
Yeah.
Now those are getting so cheap that you could literally prop one up with a kickstand on top of that thing or next to it and
right.
play on the go at a hotel or anywhere you're traveling, and it's quite accessible,
So
quite
good.
easy. I love it. I really
Such
do.
a good console. Anyway, but that.
All right.
All right,
You
so
got-
here we go. We're going to get ready for our next segment, which is going to be a nice little, cool one, where we're going to do some fan features.
Fan features.
That's
Yeah,
right.
let's talk about that. So, Yeah, so
All right.
let's talk about fan feature, ladies and
Feature.
fan feature.
All right, gameplay edition.
Gameplay edition. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we asked you all to submit some clips so we could commentate and maybe poke fun at you just a little bit on this show and kind of just show off some of the awesome games that we're featuring in Game Pass. And this is something I think that the team wants to expand on and grow. So again, like keep an eye out for clip submissions in the future, and you never know what you could win if you could be featured on the show. You
Right.
just never know what's going to happen.
Getting called out and get a nice little recognition for your awesome gameplay.
That's right.
Love it. Love it.
Now, the first clip comes to us from Firehawk6301 playing World War Z.
Now, we've played this game together a little bit, and describe World War Z while we pull this up.
World War Z is a video game that a lot of people might compare to a Left 4 Dead or a Back 4 Blood, cooperative zombie shooter, but it's nestled in the World War Z universe, which is, to many, it's based off a book written by Max Brooks, Mel Brooks' son for the fans,
Fun
the cinema
fact.
fans. Yeah, Mel
Okay,
Brooks' son
okay.
wrote that. Great book. Cannot recommend it highly enough. If you're a fan of zombies, it is absolutely worth a read. And there's also a movie starring the beautiful Brad Pitt. Yeah.
Legendary
Brad Pitt. Yeah.
Absolutely.
A little bit more contentious on if people are fans of the movie compared to the book. But I will say one of my favorite parts of the movie that you can see in the game now is the zombies like crawling on top of each
Yes.
other to get up. You can see right there. I love that animation. I love that they're
so
literally
good.
just crawling on top of each other.
100%, 'cause
Horrifying.
as you were growing up, maybe play games like Left 4 Dead, like you mentioned, or other games, like there's always a limitation to how many zombies can be on the screen.
Yeah.
Then you look at a game like this, which
Yeah.
again is a great cooperative game to play with your friends.
Yeah.
And you just see the zombie hordes running towards you, and stuff gets real. And
Stuff gets real.
It is terrifying at times.
And I think we might even see this person go down. She's getting a little bit overwhelmed by the zombies here as they try and climb up there. But you can see their whole team kind of arched on this corner here. I like that, just funneling the enemies down. And it's
What else
such
can you do?
I mean, seriously, and it's such a team-focused game, which is part of the reason I love Left 4 Dead is like anybody can shoot a few zombies and get through a map. But this is very much like a tactical
Yes.
game where you really got to work together to be focusing and funneling the enemy because it is just an absolutely insane amount of zombies on screen at once.
Yeah, when you think about games like maybe even go back to like Dead Rising.
oh, look at it.
Zombies
Hold on.
are really. Oh, here we go. Action shot.
Ow, ow, ow.
Just over and over and over again. At this point, the person's still alive, and they got to be thinking this might be the end.
Oh, they got
able to
rescued.
Get back up. There we go. Love it. And yeah, to your point, the zombies are so fast in this game that you just really, it's really tough. Now we have another scene here. Where
Yeah, a little bit of a different setting and character.
They place turret, I would
Yeah.
say.
And this is just a great cooperative game. Again, like one of my favorite parts of Game Pass is, for me personally, is this has been a great way to connect with some of my extended family. I play with cousins, nieces, and nephews. And games like this are great if they're of appropriate age, because World War Z is violent as heck.
A little bit.
Yeah, but it is just another good example of like great cooperative experiences on Game Pass that are so much easier, so much to break into. You can try it and see if you like it. This is one of those games that I think a lot of people like either really like or maybe it's not for them. So this is like the perfect game in my opinion for Game Pass.
Yeah, again, and all you have to do is get your friend maybe a subscription or a trial, and yeah, they just download the game and they play it. You don't have to worry about whether or not they have the game. Just get them Game Pass and
Yeah.
you have the
Does
game.
anyone else go dig through their old cardboard looking for 2-day trials of Game Pass? Because I definitely used to do
I
that.
feel like you work, you might be able to hit somebody.
Not
up.
so much anymore, but I definitely
Sure.
used to do that.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely with multiplayer. But yeah,
Totally.
love World War Z. Definitely give it a shot. Now we're gonna move on to our next clip.
Oh, one of our
so
favorites.
This is a game that we've played quite a bit over the past few years,
Yep.
and it is Human Fall Flat.
That's right. Now,
Um,
this clip was submitted by Lucid9886, and wow, his guy doesn't look so good.
Yeah,
Starting
that-
things off. And this is
bandages.
yeah, I was trying to figure out. He made it. There's this teammate there. Human Fall Flat, another great cooperative
yeah.
puzzle game that is like one of the funniest games I've ever played. Like harkening back to that question of like what game has made you laugh. I didn't mention this one, but this one's got to be up there. And like when we shot that segment a couple years
Yeah.
ago, I mean, we were like, it was like 9 in the morning, and we were like in tears, man. We were
Yeah, it
laughing
was-
so hard.
It's just so wacky. And
It
if you think
is.
about games and the way they control, this game has controls that are quite unique. So you may be watching and be like, oh, why can't this person just lift himself up the edge? And but basically you control different limbs with different buttons on the controller. And just going through the levels, as you mentioned, in a cooperative experience, it tests the patience of each other, but it requires a lot of cooperative play and teamwork here. You see them lifting this plank, trying to get it on. I remember trying to get a box onto a lift, an elevator kind of thing, and you falling over and over and again. I was like, I can't be a co-host with this guy.
Listen, it takes some time. It takes some time to figure out the controls.
And
it's one of those. Yeah, that's true. But it's if you've played Gang Beasts, then you kind of have the general idea of the controls. But it's like you're controlling your limbs with different buttons. Or even I think Goat Simulator kind of operates the same way. So it's just not the most intuitive game at the beginning, and that's honestly by design. That's a compliment. Like the first missions is you just figuring out your wonky body. It's so bizarre. It is. Man, I love this game.
Half of it is half of it's the physics too. Like it's like almost like ragdoll basically.
Yeah.
And you see this person, he's just humped over. Oh, he's
wow.
He got back up.
Stuck
there you
the
go, stuck the landing.
I was expecting his kneecaps to shoot across the field there.
Oh, can he make it?
Hold on.
See. This is gonna be the action shot. Can he swing back and forth?
I could watch probably 30 seconds of him just swinging on this.
Come on, Lucid. We believe in you. He's only got one arm.
Oh no, he did lose an arm. Get there. All right, he's not going to jump this time. He's going to make sure he can clear it. Oh,
and there you have it.
Excited.
The agony of defeat here in Human Fall Flat. But again, I think this is one of those games you pick up and you play and you say like, I'm gonna play this with a friend or whoever, and just have a good time. It may be a little bit frustrating in some sense, but it's just one of those games that you're okay with that.
It's also extremely watchable. Like this is a game I always recommend for community nights in a streamers chat. Like if there's any streamers out there, content creators, like games like Gang Beasts and Human Fall Flat, where it's just zany.
I love that word.
Zany?
Yeah, what a great word. You've been reading the dictionary.
Oh, you think? Oh, okay. I'm not even going to entertain that.
Don't. But we're seeing Lucid here try and get up this thing.
We're never going to get. There's no way that they're ever going to get up
Lucid,
there.
I believe in you. I know you're not playing this live. This is the clip you submitted, but I believe in you. All right, I think this is the swing. Here we go. Chat, let's cheer Lucid on in the past.
And a face full of glass.
Oh, it's fine. This is not being live, but I can just sense the frustration on Lucid's
I can
end.
feel the rage.
It's so good.
He just jacked that from his teammate too. He totally jacked it. That is hilarious.
I love this. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much for sending that clip in.
That's a good clip. I'll watch Human Fall Flat all day. I don't even care. All right, our final clip comes from 15th Shadow. I'm not sure what happened to the other 14, but they're playing Blair Witch for this one. Just another good example of a creepy little game in Game Pass. And this one is a lot of suspense. Like the intro is they do a really good job of kind of setting up like the movie where it's like this gradual increase to suspense.
Right.
And then, till the ultimate. I don't want to spoil anything, I guess, but you should play this game. If you're into creepy games, it's a good one to jump into. Super low barrier of entry, very accessible and easy to play game, and and you got a dog.
I mean, this is one of those games. I know, like people refer to them sometimes as like walking simulators, but it's not. That is not a great description. It's one of those games where it is setting up the atmosphere. It is making you wonder like what's going on. And the Blooper team, they also make the Medium. They made Layers of Fear, and this is I think this is one of those games that they really specialize in. And I don't know. I find it. Going back to the conversation we had about like there being different kinds of ID games.
Yeah.
All the way from something like Human Fall Flat to something like this. You can just give this a shot and like get immersed in the setting and in the narrative. And kind of just sit back and watching an interactive movie almost.
That's right. And I mean, it's based off a movie, so like it's interesting.
Which I have not seen.
You haven't seen Blair Witch, the original? That's one that's like, I don't know that
it
it holds up. That was amazing for the time. Found footage. Yeah, 99, I want to say. Yeah. But it's found footage, that's kind of been done over and over again after Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
So I don't know that it's going to have that same shock value, but, certainly when it came out, low budget, and it's amazing what it grossed in the box office, and it's just great. And so when you look at the game, I mean, I like that you brought up Layers of Fear because those guys, Layers of Fear 1 and 2, are terrific survival horror games. And also, people call them walking simulators, and I struggle with that term because it's almost
Yeah.
like a dig. It sounds like a
I
dig at the
know.
game, but I love those games. I
Yeah.
really do love the games like that.
One
Like
of my
Life is
favorite.
Strange. Yeah,
Life is
totally.
Strange. Exactly.
That's a
That
good
is a game, and the new game's coming out later this year. But what those games allow you to do is really put yourself
Aw.
in the shoes in many ways. And of course, we have here the little dog.
I like to think that they submitted the clip just because the dog ate the water
I mean,
bottle.
that's the best part of many games in
yeah.
the sense
Any
of this
pet.
entire website's dedicated to like, can you pet the dog?
Can you pet the
Yeah.
dog? Yeah, totally. Honestly, I love games so much more if you can pet the animals or have a pet. You
It's
know
a
what I mean?
nice little humanizing touch where you're like, oh, there's a dog in front of me. What would I do in real life? I would
Pet it.
I'd probably pet the
Pet
dog.
that dog.
Pet the dog, you know?
Yeah, why not? I'd pet that dog and pray it doesn't bite my hand off.
So those were the clips. Thank you so much for sending those in. Again,
Yes.
as Ethan mentioned, we're going to continue doing these, and so as more opportunities, show up for you to be able to submit your clips, we want you to take them, send us your best clips, and you might just see them on the show.
Yes.
So this is going to be great.
All right, now we're going to be kicking off the next set of pop quiz
right.
questions, but a couple housekeeping items real quick. Just want to mention everybody attending today is going to be entered for the random draw for the Series S. If you're in chat, you've been entered, and one of you is going to go home with that console. Obviously, we're going to
Stop
send it to
showing
you,
up.
so you're not going to go home with it today, but you know what I mean.
It will be in your home.
It will be in your home at some point. Now, you've only missed one question for 5% discount, but there's still two more poll questions, which you're going to be seeing shortly, if not already. And that means 10% more discount up for grabs on something from the gear store. So we're sitting right now at 10% off because we got the initial 5%, one of two of the initial questions, right? 10% more up for grabs.
That's right. And the way that you get that additional 5% is you have to get the answer correct as a group. The majority of y'all have to answer the question correctly. So
Correct.
please, as you go into these questions, don't just go ahead and pick any old answer.
It's better to abstain. In fact,
that
if
is
you
true.
don't know the answer, it's better for
Now,
your
what does
percentages to abstain.
Abstain mean?
Abstain to not vote.
That's right. We can't throw in words. Not all of us are reading the dictionary.
Okay.
Only on
You
chat.
think I just go to bed and read the dictionary? Because I don't. I read Elder Scrolls lore books
Oh.
or Destiny lore books. or
Way
something.
cooler, obviously.
Super, super cool, you guys.
Kidding. I'm just kidding.
Ladies.
Right.
Yeah, totally. But
So that's what you're fighting for.
questions.
That's what you're fighting for, a collective discount for all of you to use. So get the answer right and hope that everyone else does as well.
Also, chat, if anyone in chat already bought a shirt before the discount dropped, raise your hand. I knew, thinking about this, I was like, someone's going to buy that shirt. And we're going to be like, hey, there's discounts. And they're just gonna
That's
be like,
right.
crap.
Well, I mean,
I got to know. I got to know.
And they look so good on us.
Oh, of course.
I mean, how can you hold off?
Yeah,
But
totally.
the ones that did will get that a little percentage off. So that's really great. And as Ethan mentioned, one of you are walking away with this. So that's a little added benefit.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
but
a
now-
little added benefit.
Just little.
A small.
There you go.
Can I try and palm that?
Yes, I think you can.
All
Let's
right,
see,
let me
let's
touch
see.
where you didn't touch.
Right
Wow, look at that.
there. Boom. Yeah.
Hamstrung. There we go.
All right. Let's see here.
Shh.
Isn't that nice?
It is nice. It is nice.
But yes, these shirts, they're on the store right now.
They're on the store. They just
So if
they
you
dropped.
if you want any discount on it, you're gonna get these questions right. Get that extra 10% on top of the already 10%.
That's right.
20%.
Yeah. Look at
Math.
that math. Hey.
That's right.
I'm glad I
And
have
the
you here.
jacket here is not included. This is just my fashion sense that showed up. You won't get this.
It's nice outside, you guys. Like
is
he
like
had
in
to
the
have a
70s.
thoughtful decision of like what coat looks best. Listen, I'm not digging you.
Up.
Are you? Are you?
I am. There is an immense amount of sweat on me right now.
Is there?
But it's
Okay.
fine because it's about making a fashion statement.
I get
right?
it.
So for any of you out there who are going to get this, highly recommend wearing a nice little denim jacket over it. If it's nice outside, of course you can take it off. But
Denim
you know,
Dan.
when you walk into a room with this nice green FanFest shirt on,
A blue
people are
denim.
gonna be like, "Man, that person, they got some
He's a
style.
fan."
They got some style."
Yeah,
You're gonna
yeah.
say it like that.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'd like to think so. Listen, I get it, man. It takes me a long time to choose my jacket before I leave the home.
You know what your best accessory is?
What?
That hair.
Oh,
The best hair in the business.
I don't think that's true. There's a lot of very beautiful people in gaming with amazing hair.
Well, you're at the top.
Oh, that's nice of you to say.
Just kidding.
He's
Just-
fishing. He's
yeah,
fishing because he
that's
knows we're hanging out this week.
That's true. Well, I got to say, again, we've been talking about ID at Xbox games, and the list is immense. You know one game that I never got to play, and I'm curious if you did, Dead Cells?
Dead Cells. Oh,
Have
yeah.
you played Dead Cells?
Oh, yeah. I'm not good, though. Like,
You're not.
so my wife is a huge platformer.
Yeah.
Like, she's very good at platformers.
Yeah.
All of them. Celeste.
Precision.
Yeah,
lots of precision.
yeah. Patience. You need patience. You need
it.
timing. It's all things I don't have as an adult. And I like personally. So I like Dead Cells, but I just sucked. So
Yeah.
that's certainly one that's like I far prefer to watch my wife play.
Sure.
Ori's another one. I've never beaten Ori myself. I've watched my wife beat it.
I actually told
'Cause I
Phil
can't do it.
one time. The first time I ever met Phil outside of this building was at E3. I forget what year it was, maybe 2016. And I walked up to him and we were talking, and I was just like, "Cool, I'm talking to Phil Spencer." And I told him I didn't beat Ori, and he's like, "Don't tell me that." It's like, I'm sorry, Phil. I made a mistake. I made a miscalculation. I'm just kidding, Phil. I totally beat it.
I totally beat it, Phil.
Yeah,
Gosh.
that one level is just.
I get
it's
it.
a really tough game, but
It is.
the newest, the Will of the Wisps, has an easy mode, so you can go through
does.
and play easy mode, and I believe it has like a one death mode, like one life mode,
Like an Iron Man mode kind
which
of.
is if
yeah.
you can play on that,
What-
that is impressive.
Why'd you bring up Dead Cells?
What's that?
Why'd you bring up Dead Cells?
I remember seeing the box art, and it's just like one of those games that just looks beautiful, and I know a
It's
lot
great.
of people, and it's a really good, highly
Super cool.
acclaimed game.
Yeah, and like a little bit of a different take on the regular platformer too. Like
Yeah.
it does a lot of cool, unique things. Yeah, it's a good one. Let's take a look at those poll results, though, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
And I'm seeing a little poll result about Tetris Effect.
That's right. Which of
now.
the following game modes is featured in Tetris Effect Connected? And the majority of you picked Connected Battle Mode. Unfortunately, the answer was Zone Battle Mode.
Zone battle mode?
So another 5% that you didn't get, but it's okay. 19% of you can say that you tried.
That's true.
Kidding.
That's true. Also, everyone needs to play that game because it is
Oh,
Chef's Kiss.
Beautiful. The music, the visuals. It's just amazing.
It really
And then
is.
the next question, what's the name of the town where Night in the Woods takes place? And
You guys crushed this.
crushed it.
Crushed it. 68% voted for Possum Springs, which is the correct answer, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
That's
So
it.
another 5% added, and I believe
15%.
Yeah, 15%. So as of this show, any of you can go into the FanFest, the Xbox Gear shop, shop for your FanFest items, and get 15% off,
Awesome. Awesome.
which is gonna be great.
Now,
And actually, we're
feeling good.
I'm feeling generous. here.
You're feeling generous.
I'm feeling generous.
Okay.
So here's what I'm gonna do.
We.
Well, I'm gonna take credit for it. I'm just kidding. No. So what we're gonna do? I know you all only got 15%, but I'm gonna bump that up by 10%.
That's right.
Everyone's gonna walk away. Who's in this chat in this stream gonna walk away with 25% off a FanFest item in the gear shop.
That's
which is
right.
exciting.
Mighty generous, Malik. Mighty generous. But
I'm a
honestly,
generous king. That's what I
honestly,
say.
big shout out to the FanFest team
That's
for
right.
doing that. This is
That's
the first. This is the inaugural FanFest talks. This is very much, something new that we want to kind of continue to do and continue to have great, better and better guests and really interesting segments and kind of flesh out what we're doing here. And so, really excited to hear the feedback you guys have, and really excited to see you find folks come back and maybe answer some trivia a little bit more.
Well, that's the thing.
more discounts.
Again, like we want to give you all some of Xbox's biggest fans the best experience and the best perks, and so part of that is getting discounts on gear. And so we're really happy. The team who worked on this, super happy to deliver that straight to you. And so look out for more of those opportunities. You are at the top of the fan game right
That's
now.
right,
We're
you
in
are.
This chat.
Now you're gonna be able to find these. These codes are gonna be should be sent to you via email, I believe, if that's correct. So there's gonna be a survey link there as well, so you can offer feedback. Let us know what you thought of us, the show all up, where you'd like to see improvements. If you'd like to earn discounts based on how well we play against each other, I'd love to give the 30% of people that voted for me an extra 5%. But sadly, that's not how it's gonna work today.
It would have to come out of your paycheck directly.
Oh,
And so you were like, nah.
that's right. Yeah,
Which is fair.
It's true. It's
Which is
true.
fair.
Yeah.
But also, again, as we mentioned,
I come
as Larry,
first.
what's that?
I come first.
I mean, that's fair. You always got to look out for number one.
right.
But as Larry, we had Bianca Ciatti on the show earlier to talk about Xbox Game Pass. Really love what she's doing on the team and
Yeah,
focus on ID at Xbox.
Totally, you just see the passion, right? When you hear her talk about it. She's a big gamer, and I've been fortunate enough to work, and I know you have worked alongside so many of the Game Pass team, and I know they work hard. Like Game Pass is in the news all the time. They're really just crushing the game, and I gotta say, big shout out to everyone on that team because I know we know what it's like on the back end of that, how much work that is. So huge shout out to y'all over there. Seriously,
And
it's
not-
no small feat.
That's right. And not only ID at Xbox games, but let's talk about
all of it.
MLB The Show 21 coming to Xbox Game Pass.
I know,
in a few
dude.
days. So I am a huge baseball game fan, and it's been a while since Xbox has
Hold on.
had a baseball.
I want to dissect that.
Okay, here's the deal.
So you like playing playing MLB, but you won't watch MLB.
I used to
Okay.
when I was a kid, and then my last baseball game that I had was MLB 2K9.
Wow.
So it's been almost
a minute.
been more than a decade since I played a game on a baseball sim game on Xbox. And
Wow.
so I am super pumped for MLB The Show 21.
That's cool.
Launching an Xbox Game Pass on day one, April 20th. I'm pumped. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for people to take me out to the ball game.
Oh, nice, dude. Maybe you can take me out to the crowd because I have never played a baseball game in my life.
Give it a shot.
Besides backyard baseball. Shout out. Shout out to the fans who
There you
remember the
go,
backyard
the
sports.
real experience.
Oh, they were so good. They were so
But then
good.
we also had Larry Herb, Xbox's Major Nelson, on the show, which is always great to see him.
It is.
He's always dropping those really great guests on the Xbox podcast, talking about Jason Ronald, one of the folks who obviously worked on these two consoles.
Yeah.
Shows up quite often and bumps Jeff Rubenstein, his co-host, out. So
That's right. That's so
it's
true.
such a good podcast to check in weekly on
It is.
the news and get the inside deets on what's going on in the Xbox world.
That's right. That's right, man.
So again, and Larry actually showcased and unveiled that one of you will be walking away with an Xbox Series S, which is next gen performance in the smallest Xbox ever. And so again, we are going to be picking one winner who is in here. So keep an eye on your email. We're going to be emailing your account in 24 hours. So
That's right. And these discount codes will be valid through April 18th at just before midnight. So you got some time if you can't decide if you want green, you want black, you want something else in there. Maybe it's a tough decision, ladies and gentlemen.
right.
So hey, sleep on it if you need to. Okay.
and use the money that you save from the discount to buy a jacket.
That's right. That's right. I don't think a denim jacket's going to be $5, but
This one was.
Really?
No. I'm just
Okay. I was going to say, that looks nice, bro. Now, remember to follow Xbox on the social media and, tag us at Xbox Fan Fest, of course, with a hashtag in front of that. Keep an eye out for new exclusive offers, as well as share your experience with the digital thing. I can't convey to you how excited we are to see you all in person, hopefully in the next couple years at a con, at a Fan Fest event in
Hugs.
person. Who knows what's going to happen?
fives.
But I just got to say, it's exciting to see that we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel of all this, and it's just been so good to get to come together for this stuff.
Definitely hope you all are being safe, because until we are able to see you, we want you all to stay safe. And again, we want to know what you thought about it. We want to hear suggestions. So be sure to follow at Xbox as always, and tweet out, as Ethan mentioned, your feedback on the show using hashtag Xbox Fan Fest.
That's hard. It's hard to say. Hashtag Xbox Fan
That is like a
Fest.
tongue twister. Okay.
Is it?
Yeah. Tell us how great we were.
Or not.
Or not. Maybe not. But again, thank you all so much for spending some time with us.
Yes.
We really appreciate it. And
Yeah, get
some idea at Xbox games.
Yeah, play some ID at Xbox games. Get out of your comfort zone. Try a new game on Game Pass. There's literally no reason not to.
That's right.
And big shout out to all the producers behind the scenes today in studio.
Give
on
yourself
the
a round of
call, in our
applause.
ears, all the guests. Big shout out to everybody working
There
on it.
we go.
There's that clap
There
for our
we
producers.
go.
There
we
we go.
got one of them.
I love it. Listen, it's enough. It's enough.
That's enough. That's right.
But seriously, a lot of hard work goes into these things. So big shout out to everyone. Thank you all that came out today at home. Hug your pet, hug each other for us.
That's right.
It's one of those. Give yourself one of these.
And have a good time gaming on. Until the next time, we'll talk to you soon.
Take care, everyone.
Peace.